from Twisted Minds. A very early game-centric rotations, and with the expanding rivers, that might make or break the early game for both teams.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of XP laners come to mid so often. Even before the turtle spawn, sometimes they get level 4 out in the mid lane. They send the mage towards the XP to get the mid. So those kind of movements from Twisted Minds will maybe break the tempo here for Team Falcons here in the game. And now they even shut down some of the potential lineups from Team Falcons by snatching away the Baksha from Kyle TZ.
Yeah, and this means Twisted Minds are going to be playing to their tempo of wanting to play fast, and now Falcons are going to have to see if they can try and keep up. With what people now see Team Falcons as, a lot of them just see them right now as an old horse of weak legs. Going up against Twisted Minds who are like bunch of newer young bucks who are just willing and ready to go. So I like that they look for stability in the jungle. They don't play into anything crazy like the Joyce. They pair up the Juice in with it, but now they have to go up against a Kalea.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this Zushin Fredrin rush though. Now that you do this, you're kind of forced into a position where you play with a utility jungler. You don't have an artillery mage on few, so you are effectively playing against the Baksha with the sole intent of shutting down the Baksha jungle. Because of the Kalea, I think you're warranted to do this. And now they get the Granger. Finally, they switch up the playstyle. They're gonna have to play the early game aggression themselves. Well, my concern is if Twisted Minds goes for Baksha XP and then just elects to get MP the King, the Hayabusa, or even the Joy, this might just switch up the game here for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, even Baksha XP currently in our meta, we haven't seen that a lot, but it's still quite effective if you are able to fight against a non-dominant XP laner. And speaking of dominant XP laners, by taking away the CC and the Arlot, leaves only the Lapu Lapu as the potential bad matchup against this Baksha.
Yeah, I think they're fine with either for Twisted Minds. Team Falcons, they do have the priority selection on the second phase. XP or Roam, they're going to be able to at least snatch one away from Twisted Minds, because we don't even know what the role for the Baksha is. It could be jungle, could be XP, but at least you're stealing one away from Twisted Minds. If not, again, worst case scenario, they just give MP the King another assassin on second phase.
So I'm looking at it, it might seem like the level up will most likely end up in the hands of Falcons.
Maybe.
So with them taking away the carry as best options, I mean, no matter what Twisted Minds ends up with, it's going to be good because they already have one carry in the center of the map. They can just cover it. They have so much flex around the Baksha. If that does end up in the jungle, I still am leaning a little bit more towards the idea that it is a jungle Baksha, and that the XP for Lanzo is something that we haven't seen yet. Then the gold laner has to be... They can even afford to go a little bit more mid to the late game with their carry, considering they have two.
Yeah, okay. Falcons, do they take the Lapu here? Because if they do, they're going to have to show the XP matchup, and that's going to allow Twisted Minds to either counter the Lapu or go for a damage XP to supplement this Baksha jungle pickup from MP the King. There goes the Lapu. For Twisted Minds, Esmeralda is an option, even though that's gonna make their composition a little bit awkward because they're gonna have to wait for like marksman timings. But if they just find a good marksman, then it won't be a problem altogether. So again, for Twisted Minds, either you go damage XP here or you go Lapu Lapu. Oh, sorry, Esmeralda against the Lapu, and then maybe pick up a Bruno or Moscow.
Yeah, we can see the Bruno earlier.
By the way,
but looks like you're gonna go for the Phoebus instead. At least still some damage and a bit of crowd control too. In fact, looking at the hero stats here for Sean, currently 5 games on this Kimmy, a very healthy win rate of 60%. And what do you pair this up? Do we get the Bruno that you mentioned?
Bruno or Harith? Any gold laner that can fight earlier on?
Yeah, they can afford to, even though it's a lot of magic damage.
Wow.
They'll still go for the Moskov. I mean, we did pose a possibility they'll just go for something a little bit more mid to the late game. They spread out their damage profile a little bit better. And yeah, Twisted Minds going for a slightly more conservative route.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually surprised they draft this way, week 5. They're drafting like Team Falcons.
Wow. Coach Bonjan.
I don't know why, but I'm offended.
Entering
for Twisted Minds.
entering the mind of Coach Trebor here. Last pickup here for the side of Team Falcons. They're still looking for their potential goal. I mean, roamer, actually.
Gatot, Hylos. Yeah. Oh, Grok. Okay. I like this Grok pickup. It's a good matchup against the Kalea. Even though the Kalea does bruise you, and she can just sustain off of the hits from the Surge of Life. The thing about Grok is that it limits these jumps from the Kalea, and right after you jump, you're basically under the mercy of the Earthen Rampart.
Yeah, and with that Fredrin, if the fight gets divided by the Earthen Rampart, it's going to be really hard to walk around with the Zushin as well. A lot of crowd control here for the side of Team Falcons. Meanwhile, for the side of Twisted Minds, you can see a lot of global map pressure come late game. You have the Baksha and the Moskov just lane control all the way down to that late game. What can we expect early on in this game?
I'd say for Twisted Minds, they're the ones dodging in this game, maybe looking for trades, forcing like skirmishes away from the Moscow, while you have Team Falcons constantly controlling these objectives against Twisted Minds because of their early game advantage. They have the damage from the Lapu Lapu, the damage from the Granger, and also insane control from the Zushin and Fredrin.
Yesterday was a sad chapter for Team Falcons, still currently on a cold 7-game losing streak. And up against Twisted Minds right now, we're about to enter our second best of 3 of the night. It's going to be the game 1 between Twisted Minds against Team Falcons.
Wow.
With a lot of late game lineups here for the side of Twisted Mind.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough climb here for the Falcons up against the Super Rookies, who, again, they are not going to be hesitant to go full-on aggro if they can find the advantage. Similar to what they're doing here in the center of the map, despite going up against a Juicin. Oh, Sean.
Ouch.
Oh, got to be careful there, sir.
Ouch.
Oh, no, not like that.
That was a good wall from Ogwin. I was going to ask earlier if they didn't wall the wave, because Twisted Minds was able to clear the wave much faster than them. But again, the punish from Ogwin was there, getting Sean twice. But again, the Surge of Life, the advantage of having so many heals in the laning stage does answer off the pressure coming off from the Grok.
Yep, and so far it looks like no big trades so far inside the map. Just a bit of poking against each other inside the lane, but Kaloy has other ideas. Just gives a clear advantage to this Phobius.
Oh, Kyle TZ. Was he able to win that, Richard?
No,
Lanzo
got it.
Okay, Lanzo still got the last set of the XP, okay.
And so in entering the 1-minute mark, still nothing much happening inside the map. It's just quick rotations from all.
This is something that I've been waiting to see in MPL. The roamers just going from lane to lane and clearing waves. You see some bit of advantage on XP on Kalea, but Sean oversteps.
Big trade there in the mid. Few still. Okay, so now that they're playing a little bit more, I feel like they're using their veteran wilds against Twisted Minds.
Yeah, well, going back to what you pointed out, Midnight, what do you mean, like, roamers clearing out lane after lane?
Yeah, because now you see them almost getting level 4 just off of the 40% extra golden XP you gain from clearing the waves with your mid laners. Unfortunately, Sean, he thought maybe the Surge of Life was active already when Kaloy jumped in. Unfortunately, it wasn't. So the Kimi still died, but still got level 4, and now there's just gonna burst the turtle here for Team Falcons.
Okay, MP Viking close by. Here comes an entry by FlapTZ. Here comes the SOD as well. The stun, the perfect combo, but KyleTZ still walks away with the turtle. Ogwin gets a kill over MP the King. FlapTZ looks like he's gonna be up next to the Falcon as Kaloy takes down 1. Latu takes down another. This could be 3 down for Falcons, and yes, it is Twisted Minds counter out the turtle take by Falcons.
Oh wow, 3 people down for the side of Team Falcons for the price of a turtle, and an immediate Sky Piercer for the Kimi.
Wow, a rush
It's
from
a greedy
Sean.
rush.
It is greedy, but it might just work because now you're fighting the HP battle against Twisted Minds. Now that team fight was okay for Team Falcons, but when they lost the tectonic charge from Ogwin, you saw how the damage was there from Team Falcons, but it's getting repelled by the Surge of Life. The heals coming out from Kalea allowed Twisted Minds to just out-damage Team Falcons. Even though MP the King died from that skirmish, Lanzu and Kaloy was just able to dish so many punches in the backline, and Team Falcons, they just didn't have anything left in the tank.
Equalized as well after those 3 kills. Yeah, gotta say, I was visiting Twisted Mind's live stream, and especially for Sean here. It was joking around how he's gonna play Kimmy in the MPL and then buy Sky Piercer as his first item. I didn't think that he would actually take it seriously, and now we're here. Week 5, day 2. He debuts this Kimmy with no boots and a Sky Piercer to his name.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke. It was a warning shot.
It was a warning shot right in the live stream with 200 viewers live watching. I'm gonna do this in MPL.
Little did you know, it was a strat reveal.
Strat reveal, dude.
But then everyone's going to say, oh, nah, he's just messing around. No, but it's actually legit.
Oh, man, you know what? He also said another thing.
What?
He also confirmed right there and there on a random Tuesday afternoon that Sensui's not going to play this weekend. He straight up said, oh, it's going to be MP the King playing this weekend.
All right, so if you want to find out the strats of Twisted Minds, you hop onto Sean's live stream.
Yep.
Got it.
My boy spinning facts.
Oh, meanwhile, in the center of the map, good wall hit there by Ogwin. They're only going to poke down Lansu. They're not going to go for a full aggro commit onto him.
Yeah.
Falcons will be looking into a turtle dance instead.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be started here by Team Falcons. Kaloy trying to find a way, but Lansu already in the vicinity of that pit.
Okay, if you already used the Crimson Beacon, Flapteasy already entered as well. Night Shaker committed. They missed everything. Here comes the punish. Dark Wave and the jump as well. But Ogwin with a tech charge. Turning around. SOD entry. Are they going to commit this?
Oh my
Flapteasy falls. The turnaround by Twisted Minds is real. As few can only back with the rest of Falcons. Twisted win again.
Dude, Lansu has to chill because he's giving so many headaches to Team Falcons with all of the heads being smashed by the Phobius. The sustain is insane. Even though it started awkward for Twisted Minds, they lost the Kalea. They didn't have enough access to the they didn't have access to the Surge of Life. But because Team Falcons has used everything, they had nothing against the Phobius. And again, Nausea with a Spear of Destruction, putting so much pressure for Team Falcons to disengage.
That's like back-to-back 3-man Dark Waves from Lansu. Lansu, chill.
Chill, my boy.
He's just doing so much.
It's not playoffs.
It's not yet playoffs, and he's sure as hell playing like he's already part of it. And Lansu just showing off a lot of Phobius mechanics here. Entering the 6-minute mark, we have a 2K gold lead coming in from Twisted Minds. But in terms of Turtles, it's still pretty much the same for both squads. It's just the fights have been working out here for the side of Twisted Minds. But it might change as a Sky Piercer pickup here is for Super Marco 6 minutes in.
Yeah, let's see if they'll actually be able to punish and be the ones, not be the ones getting punished here. Because so far we've seen Falcons a little bit shaky on the team fights. Some things are landing, most things are not.
Yeah.
And that means Twisted Minds, they can just go in with a later entry and go for the counter. So far, Twisted Minds are fighting better than Falcons.
Yeah, that's a Kalea though. Like, he doesn't mind losing some HP.
Yeah, you can regen it.
And Team Falcons, even though, again, they're just trying to find objectives off of the map. They have to use resources for it, but they don't even like get these mini objectives. Like Kaloy, if he loses HP, it doesn't matter because he's just gonna get it back with a Surge of Life.
And now with this upcoming turtle, the final turtle of the game, it's gonna be the side of Team Falcons holding on to that pixel brush as of now. Around that LBM, Team Falcons already setting themselves up. But Twisted Minds have prime opportunity to actually go in for the invade. Kaloy looking for the potential jump here, but MP the King switches up the angle.
Okay. Falcons needs to watch out for the team fight, and here comes the entry. Kaltese gets the turtle again. That's going to be a pick off there by Kaloy. A stun by Super Marco. Make that actually. Flapteasy, the SOD's not going to land. Flapteasy
doesn't matter.
Down. They couldn't get Sean down. The Sky Piercer rush is working out. Ogwin with a tech charge to try and save them. Lansu secures the kill, but Super Marco trades him out.
Well, 2 for 1 plus a turtle. Team Falcons, did they win that trade?
No, not at all. It's all Twisted Minds. They got a tower on the bottom side. They took down 2 heroes, and they only lose the Phobius. They're still making space for Nausea.
Oh, wow. Things are not looking great here for Team Falcons. We're entering the 8-minute mark, and Lansu is still playing out of his mind.
I guess you could say silver lining for Super Marco is that at least he's getting some charges up on the Sky Piercer. But but their main concern is Twisted Minds going to late game. There is a Moskov in this game.
Okay. Flcn entry with a Raging Slash, everything thrown at him as well. Meanwhile, Flcn left Nosha in the back. Few is there, ready to answer. He gets to bring him up. A stun by the Lapu Lapu finally gets taken out. Few takes down Nosha. 1-for-1 trade. Falcons are winning. That's 2 down on the side of Twisted Minds. Shut down onto Sean by Kyle TZ. Double kill for Few. FBI King is gone. Wipe out for Falcons. The turnaround.
And finally, Team Falcons able to find their first winning team fight, equalizes this game 9 minutes in.
Yeah, now that's very obvious. It was a greedy call from Twisted Minds to utilize the Moskov in that engagement.
Yeah.
Even dashing behind the Granger, the immediate response from Team Falcons was, hey, look at the Moskov, turn on the Moskov. And right, they did. The stun from FlapTZ came through. Even with the flicker out from Nosha, there were just so many control that came out from Team Falcons, and Nosha was held down.
Man, that was so early coming in from Nosha as well. It was a great SOD, a fight that they could have won. But look at that, so many knockups just landing on the side of Team Falcons. And finally, with that clutch Skypiercer as well coming in from Super Marco, they're able to finally get their first 4 stacks in. And this is probably Team Falcons' best chance to take this game.
Well, let's see if Twisted Minds are going to be able to find an answer. And with the King Shield, Unity's up, jumps in, last to take a lot of damage. Twisted Minds gets blasted. SOD in, but it might be too tough to take. Moskov pushes up top while Kaloy gets taken out. Double kill for Super Marco. FlapTZ with his zone out. And again, another win for Falcons as Nosha plays the map.
But the Lord, Team Falcons, they're still going to continue pushing this up. There's no SOD available here for this Moskov.
SOD.
So I feel like this is still going to be a Lord secured by Team Falcons. And a free Lord. Nosha able to escape for now, but FlapTZ looking for the stun. What? It connects!
He'll be able to land it. Here comes Few as well. Ogwen is there. 3v1. Nosha gets knocked out.
What was that?
Oh my, rookie mistakes coming out from Twisted Minds. The Moskov stayed on the top lane instead of going back and defending middle lane so that MP the King can roam around the bushes. But because of that, Team Falcons understands, all right, we're back to our timing. We have a lot of gold on the Granger. We have so much damage. We have so much control. We can just, brute force the front line, let Super Marco do his thing. And this is why a hero like Granger is something that can work for Team Falcons. You have a team that understands macro. You just need the firepower to actually win team fights.
Yeah. Well, the Holy Shields clear out the mid lane, and now in the bottom lane they continue the siege. 5 people sent out here by Team Falcons. It seems they're going to try to force out this Holy Shield as well with that wall. What a creative use from that earthen rampart.
Yeah, Ogwen's been on fire with his Grok. Super Marco bulletproof as well. 602 conceal play. FlapTZ threatening with the ultimate. He baits himself out. Maybe CC Mew, but he's gonna get pulled back. Ogwen with a tech charge. Kaloy takes a lot of damage, and that's godlike for Super Marco. Epi the King brought down really low. Is he gonna be taken out? That's on the turnaround, but a double kill still for Marco. Nosha goes in. Lazu goes forward. Jumping on Few. A shutdown by Sean. But Marco is still popping heads. He's popped 3. That's a triple for him.
Look out.
Nosha backs off with Sean.
Those micro outplays though.
Yeah, doesn't feel like they're playing against rookies. Team Falcons, they had to work for it. And Twisted Minds, they still defend the tower in the middle lane. Good jump coming out from Lantu once again, saving their tower in the middle lane.
How do you even find those angles? Like,
I don't know.
I didn't even see that Dark Wave angle. I just suddenly saw 3 people jumping towards Twisted Minds.
Yeah.
And in my head, oh wow, Lansu did it again.
And it was cool because that went almost the same time as Kyle TZ being able to bring out a taunt.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna ask, why would you find that angle? Because it's not just about the timing, it's not just about the the targets. It was the Fredrin and the Grok in front of him, but he decided to go for it anyway. He was just like, I just need to jump.
And he did. And that's why Twisted Minds, they didn't lose a single inhibitor turret in that Lord push coming in from Team Falcons. But that doesn't remove the fact that Team Falcons did get a lot of gold out of that push.
Yes.
Now ahead by 5,000 gold. They still have a major advantage here in the upcoming Lord fight.
Yeah, Wind of Nature already built now for Nosha, so this somehow changes up the dynamic of this team fight. Because now every jump from Nosha, it has to be dealt with a stun. It can't just be the damage coming off from the Lapu or the Granger. It has to be a crowd control. Because if not, if Nosha somehow finds the Granger on the back line, it might just spell the end of the team fight right then and there.
Well, right now they're going to start the Lord here. Team Falcons, Twisted Minds, the SOD is available, but I feel like they're going to burst down the Lord quite quickly.
Okay, wall up, MP the King on the right side of it. Falcons now slowing it down. They know the threat that Twisted Minds might be able to turn it around. MP the King just has to go in. Is he immune? MP the King gets punished. He gets taunted. Everything between tossed at him. MP the King still survives. Here comes Kaloy with an entry as well. A few flickers forward. Making a beacon. Instead, the turnaround by Twisted. They missed it. That's two. Both TZ's down, but Marco still lives. Marco is still here, and that's a double for him.
And it's a 2-for-1 trade-up, but the junglers are down. MP the King still alive, though. That means Twisted Minds, they could potentially go for this Lord. But Team Falcons, they're not leaving this Lord pit. They know for a fact that Twisted Minds, they want this Lord for themselves. And Nausea has to take out, has to dash out of that Lord pit. As finally, the Lord resets.
Oh, that tectonic charge misses from Ogun, very crucial. They're not done, however. They want to fight for more.
Oh, another tech charge knocking up the MP the King, but they're not going to be able to bring him that low. He's still alive and he can still fight. What else can Falcons do here? Because Twisted Minds are giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, now they will lose the setup for the Lord pit. They have to address the slow push building up on top lane. Flcn fixed the wave for a bit, but it's still slowly pushing for Twisted Minds. If they don't deal with that, Twisted could just wait in this Lord dance. Team Falcons, they are the ones who are required to sort of either address the top lane or force the issue by charging with a set from Ogwin.
And there's just so much global presence here for Twisted Minds. You have the Moskov, you have the Baksha. Anybody can just...
Oh! MP the King walks in a bush, and it's a historically bad one for a Baksha. But look at Nausea taking down Super Marco. The stun! The outplay by Nausea, but he gets traded out. A double kill for him before he goes down. Twisted Minds still have some firepower. They can fight. Double kill there for Kyle TZ. Sean still lives. Flap, Ogwin, and Kyle TZ left behind.
It looks like they're going to go out. It's a 2-for-2 trade. Both junglers are still alive.
Yeah, honestly, Sean could have done it, but the blade armor hurts so much. It's going back. It's reflecting the damage towards the Kimmy. Even with the health bars going pretty low, he can't risk just dying to this blade armor off the Grok. So they go back, they refill their HPs, but Sean starts the slow push. He becomes the Moskov now.
Yeah,
well, they gotta make some plays.
Hey.
Up top, oh, Sean is stuck here. Two big dudes, can he handle it? Tech charge, everything from SOD will not connect. He cannot save Sean. And it's a shutdown by Ogwin and Kyle TZ.
Oh wow, Ogwin comes in, get out my Grok, and then starts this Lord for Flap TZ. It looks like they're gonna reset it for now. That is the river still glowing in this game. Twisted Minds, they could potentially go for this contest, but without Sean, goes for the DHS switch up. Why?
I guess to bypass all through the HPs of Team Falcons. It's a damage that doesn't get reflected here by the blade armor.
Oh, it's gonna be a rush here on the Lord. MP the King cannot get close enough. Ogwin and Few. Perfect zone out. They made that look easy. Now Twisted Minds will have to play from the defense. And I think also Twisted Minds acknowledge that at this point they're playing for the map and taking things a little bit slower. Is he gonna get caught out again? No, he will not.
Yeah, I will be able to just recall back to the base, but right now for Team Falcons, they hold the Lord once again in the mid lane with all three waves marching in with Mega Minions. What's the game plan for Twisted Minds?
Honestly, for Twisted, just wait for the Lord, wait for the set from Lansu, divide the attention of Team Falcons, and Nausea and Sean finds their opening against these tanky cores of Team Falcons.
Ogwin with the conceal. He has an angle, he has the vision. It's not going to be a surprising tech charge. He walks out MP the King. He's going to be stuck behind the wall in front of it, but he finds a small little angle to get away from it. Falcon's not able to take down a turret just yet. The defense of Twisted Minds is too good.
Yeah, there was a leak in that wall.
Yeah, dude. Excuse me. You have to give it to MP the King, though. Like, he's very, very confident that Team Falcons is not going to use everything on him.
I think they might commit because Flap TZ used the ultimate. That's a jump in by Kaloy. That's a tech charge as well. It was a bait, but they cannot get to Sean. They cannot get to Nausea. Too much damage that Falcons just cannot penetrate. Ogwin had to flicker out so he doesn't get pulled back.
Dude, it's the DHS.
That's one inhibitor turret though for Team Falcons, but things are starting to hurt and their gold lead suffered around 2,000.
Yeah, this itemization from Sean is phenomenal. phenomenal. Concentrated energy and DHS. Because of that, he's able to stay locked onto the Grok. He brought down the Grok's HP from 100 to 40%, and he only lost like 10% of his HP.
Yeah.
It's a good trade for the Kimi.
Yeah, he'll be able to heal through despite the reflective damage of that blade armor. Falcons still continuing.
Oh, no,
that's gonna be a big charge! He was gonna win this team, but the SOD misses! Tech charge by Owen! Getting Nosha! Slap easy pop! But the Moskov still lives! And look at Lansu keeping Super Marco and Few at bay. Meanwhile, Lloyd decides to fight again. And look at Sean! A dribble for the Kime! And Twisted Minds are still doing it!
And they're gonna go for Nosha. Still has that immortality. Now Super Marco has to run away. The only remaining Falcon alive.
Oh, no.
And that is a team fight won by Twisted.
30 seconds, they might have time. This might be enough for Twisted Minds, honestly. 20 seconds for Flcn.
Yes.
But it's just the Granger defending. There's so many layers of HP he has to go through.
They should have the damage. Super Marco a little bit too risky. He wants an angle to find the minions, to pull it back, to stop it, to delay it. 4v1. He's trying to watch it. He clears it. He pulls their attention. But look at Twisted Minds. Focus on the mission. Focus on the goal. MP the King with his own non-flap. Easy decides to go in. Knockdown with the lock. And Twisted win game 1.
And with that turnaround, Twisted Minds able to secure game 1. Oh wow, the super rookies are doing it.
Oh my, this is gonna leave you speechless.
Yeah.
The rookies playing to their strengths and the King playing selflessly, playing a utility role.
Yeah.
MP the King.
Dude, that was like the perfect view of what this team has evolved into, with MP the King zoning out for the rest of the team while the rest of Twisted Minds decided to finish the game.
And what is a king without his people? Protects everyone from Super Marco, even the minions. He blocked that for the minions.
Screw 4 protect 1.
Yeah.
The King protects everyone.
Oh wow.
Dude, that was so fast. You saw how quick the jump was? When he saw the bullets, immediately he starts rolling towards the left side. It was like, nah, not today.
Well, let's find out who's the MVP for game number 1. And it's still going to be Sean on that itemization on his Kimi. Look, by the way, announced everything that he was going to do here in week 5, day 2 on his live stream. Yup, MP's going to play. Yup, I'm going to build Sky Piercer first item. And now with that DHS switch up, survives through that Radiant Blade Armor. Counter against the Kimi.
Yeah, the man did a full strat reveal heading into the series.
On a random Tuesday
afternoon live stream, and they still win.
Yeah. And also did a strat adjustment. Who does this on the Kimi? Concentrated DHS? He was like, I don't follow normal meta builds. I don't screw the pro player builds. I got my own build. You play against Radiant Armor and Blade Armor, you don't need to deal damage. You need to deal sustained damage. And it was very genius. Like, getting that DHS allows you to shred through the HP. Yeah, there's a lot of armor on their side, but I don't care. I'm going for the HPs.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the initial gold lane Kimi builds that were used when Kimi was viable again in the meta here at MPL Philippines, where we were still trying to find out, is it gold, is it mid, is it magic, is it physical, and you saw all these weird builds. Well, there was one consistent item way back then, DHS. He brought it back.
Yeah. And it was completely full of logic on why he brought it back. But for Team Falcons, this must have left a bad taste, similar to what they experienced yesterday, because this was already a game that they were winning at some point in this game. They were already ahead. They were taking down people. I think Nosya was also being overly aggressive on this Moskov, but it didn't work out.
Honestly, I think Team Falcons, yes, they did play the blueprint game. Like, they played everything all according to the macro perspective, but it's just twisted. The constant attempt to try and do something on the map, yes, sometimes it'll fail, but most of the time, especially if your enemies are not looking for it, it's just gonna work. Even this jump from Lance, who jumps on a Grok and a Fredrin as a Phobius?
Hey, the Admiral Lansu, that's the answer, and that allowed the rest of his team to just pummel through the resources of Team Falcons. And I just gotta say that this was so close for comfort for both teams.
Yeah, again, you look at the game from Falcon's perspective. Every single clash started this way. MP the King sitting in the front line, acting as bait, and that enforces that, okay, the Grok can just find any good set, like either on the Baksha or the backliners. Let Zushin worry about, you know, the remaining members of Twisted Minds. If they come in, there's Zushin, and then Fredrin that can deal with Nosha. Flapteasy can just also punish if the set hits from Ogwin. But most of the time what happens is, if they jump the Baksha, Kaloy just counter jumps the Lapu Lapu, and then Nosha finds an SOD, an absolute wonderful SOD, mind you, on the backside. But even that wasn't the case for this last team fight. It was actually Team Falcons. It looked like they were gonna win this team fight because the SOD didn't hit. But the adjustments from this Kimmy allowed her to constantly fight throughout the HPs of the Grok, the Fredrins, and the Lapu. And he ended this team fight with still half HP.
Insane. And honestly, the Surge of Life as well, protecting Nosha in that last team fight. Nosha landed, I think, actually took out the Tectonic Charge and the Heavy Swing, all of the crowd control right on his face, and was still able to survive just because of the Surge of Life and the lifesteal. But yeah, that was so much damage coming in from the Kimmy.
Yeah, it was just like a lot of slow front-to-back team fights, and let's see who'll be able to sustain the fight a little bit longer. But then the difference was one side had healing. And that became like the very small margin as to why eventually they'd win it. And then I like how, on the other side, let's look at Falcons real quick. There was a thing that Flapteasy kept doing when they were going for the siege, wherein he'd show that he already used his ultimate, and then that would mean Kaloy would enter, and then Ogwin would follow up with the Tectonic Charge. That became like a template trade between the two. They already knew that, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Once the Tech Charge goes in, all hell breaks loose. Because it's up to Lansu to find the perfect Dark Wave. It's up to Sean and Nosha to not be part of the initial Tech Charge. It's a nice trade to revisit because it happened like 3 or 4 times in one game.
Yeah, and it also it allows Flapteasy to, if ever he gets jumped, he can just immune the jump from the Kalea. Problem is, 2 out of the 4 times he tried dodging the jump from Kaloy before he realized that this was becoming a problem was if Kaloy jumps right on top of him. So you can immune the the mini stun that the Kalea gets. And